Well, I wasn't expecting to have to dig a grave this morning, but quite a lot happened yesterday, and some of it pretty sad because the victim was my lovely one-eyed rescue hen Daisy, who I must admit I had a real soft spot for. And yeah, she was killed yesterday, but the story that unfolded was pretty amazing. Every morning I come up and I let the hens out. I like, when I'm at home, to have them wandering around. I like them free ranging and foraging naturally. So they were out in the morning and I was pootling about doing various jobs, and I heard a commotion and Wren was barking. So I came out here and one of the hens was alarming, and I went in to the hen run where some of them were and found 3 of them huddled in the back of their hen house, which they never go in during the day, which I thought was a bit weird. So anyway, I came out and called the others, nothing, and they always come running to me when I call them. So I went up the garden up here to where my it's quite wooded up here on the edge of the reserve, and I went up to see if I could see where they were, because they're often up there. And underneath my crate feeder I saw a body, and that body was of my lovely one-eyed rescue hen Daisy, who I've got such a soft spot for, such a character. And she was dead on the ground, feathers all over the place, but very little sign of anything else. And she was freshly killed, so whatever had got her had only just come. So I checked her over and I couldn't really see anything, and I hadn't heard any dogs. So my instant reaction is there must be a fox around here, which I have worried about, but with Wren around I've not had any views of them during the day. So I brought Wren out and I took her up there because she's got a good nose, and I know how she reacts if she can smell another dog, or certainly if she can smell another fox. And she sniffed around the area and literally showed no response at all, which really confused me, because I thought, well, it isn't a dog and it isn't a fox, so what has killed my lovely Daisy? So the only other thing I could think of was that it must have been a bird of prey, but I don't know, I haven't heard anything unusual around here. We certainly get buzzards, but would they hunt in this kind of location and take something as big as her? She's really big. I looked on the cameras to try and figure out if I could see anything. The only camera that's up in that area are the 2 feeders. One is trained on a feeder, so there's not a lot behind that, because I knew exactly when it had happened. The other camera is the crate feeder, but that's focused on the feeders, and I couldn't see anything or hear anything really on that. The other 3 missing hens eventually reappeared in the afternoon, and obviously I locked them all up, and it was all a bit of a mystery, although I did have my suspicions, and they were confirmed later on when I was sitting at my computer that evening. Yes, that clip shows a goshawk, would you believe it? So my sadness at losing Daisy is sort of mixed with the disbelief that I've just had a goshawk in my garden. And that's a pretty spectacular bird to have on your garden list. They are pretty incredible hunters, agile and woodland hunters relying on speed and stealth and agility. And they hunt and will take rabbits, birds, will certainly take wood pigeons. So although Daisy was bigger than that, but pretty much a sitting target, especially being blind in one eye. And so they'll take a range of prey, and incredibly powerful. I mean, they're buzzard size and actually quite, well, a scarce bird. They reckon there's over 500 breeding pairs now here, and looking it up on the BTO website, the Wales is pretty much a stronghold. And I have thought I've seen them a couple of times in the woods around here, and actually it's pretty, now I think about it, it's a pretty good habitat for them. My feeders have been very, very busy, very, very quiet this morning, rather than busy as they usually are. And I'm pretty sure it's still around. I mean, that clip was at 8:45 that night. So that individual had come back to see if the prey was still there. And I'm pretty sure with all the squirrels and birds I've got around here, and rats, it probably won't be the last time I see it. But now I'm clued into it, I'm certainly going to be listening and looking. So I'm absolutely gutted to have lost lovely Daisy, but I'm also pretty excited to be able to say I've had a goshawk in my garden. Unbelievable.